you that if you doubt the origins of COVID, or if you doubt the safety of the vaccine, or if you think that this may not have been a fair legal election in all
I got that
states,
good stuff.
somehow
What do you
you're
need?
a whack job, and I'm here to tell you,
See you later.
they just reversed it. That's all. And that's what we have to keep
What's up,
focusing
Fresh?
on.
What's on your
Because
mind?
if you go to the news media for information or
They
relief
call me Slasher
or
Mike. It's
confirmation,
dangerous
you're
out
going
in
to
the
get
yard.
nothing.
Want me to back you
All
up?
you're going to get is the
Let's go
narrative.
to kick some ass.
That's it. I was listening to Fox News today. They had nothing about Mike Lindell and the big evidence dump he just did. They had nothing about Arizona. 1.4 million votes already counted. Looks horrible for Biden. They'll be done probably, like I said, in 2 weeks. They had nothing about it. How can you not have anything about it? That's major news. But that doesn't fit the narrative. Whoops.
Ken Matthews puts the fun into your argument on News Radio WHP 580.
So I'm watching channel 16. I don't know if you saw this, but underneath the financial building near the state capitol in Harrisburg is the largest working vault in the country. Who knew? It's 400 tons of steel. The door is just 60 tons. And they keep about $4 billion in unclaimed property from across the state. I had no idea. It's right around the corner. I mean, not that I would, I'm just saying. Who knew? The biggest working vault in the country? Wow. I mean, we don't have a working assembly sometimes. We do have a working vault. $4 billion, that's the amount of money that belongs to Pennsylvanians, or at least people that used to reside in Pennsylvania. May want to check into that. I mean, just, sounds like a big deal. What else is underground?
Objects in the Ken Matthews Show may appear larger in your ear on News Radio WHP 580.
So the last time I checked, this show is one of about 5 shows in the country that's doing its best to keep you up to date on what's happening with audits and reports and emails. We've been blessed because we have some very hardworking legislators that have called into the show or come onto the show. Dawn Kiefer comes to mind. Congressman Scott Perry comes to mind. But there's so much censorship and banning of information, and there's so much coming out. Like, I think one of the best kept secrets in this election thing, and I remember when I first heard about it, is what's going on in Windham, New Hampshire, the little town of Windham, New Hampshire. And there's an independent journalist, his name is Joe Hoff, and it turns out there's multiple New England states that have outsourced the programming of their voting machines to one company. Now, this just jumped out at me. New England is predominantly blue, predominantly leftist. Think of Massachusetts, think of Connecticut. The company is called LHS Associates. And this is the machine that is being questioned. It's the most widely used optical scan tabulator in the world, yet this is a conflict here because the president of the LHS election voting machine company used in New Hampshire in the Windham audit is allowed to be there during the audit. Now tell me that is not a conflict. That's as bad as Dominion being there on election night, telling people to step away from the machines. They're in charge. They've got control. Don't worry. To me, this is shocking, but it's also the stories, the blockbuster nature of this. We are finding out more and more, from Arizona to Michigan to Wisconsin to Georgia, and I believe we will find out in Pennsylvania. There was a coordinated effort. And then when you dive deeper into it, and you say, well, yeah, the LHS Associates voting machine, whatever, they were in Wyndham. No. They are in most New England states. They're doing most of it. So you have to wonder, if somebody's programming the machine to think a certain way or to count a certain way in one precinct of New England, you see where I'm going with this. Look at what happened in Arizona. Look at what happened in Michigan. Look at what happened in Georgia. It's not just one county. It's not just 4 dead people and 1 illegal foreign national voting. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people across 5 states, and the news media, because they're afraid and they've been intimidated, they refuse to cover it. Yet it will determine the future of this country. You can bet on that. It will determine the future of this republic. By the way, it's not a democracy. What we find out in these audits, who did what, who worked with these companies, who paid these companies. And now, an update from Mike Lindell. Because everybody bans Mike Lindell, except me. Even Newsmax bans Mike Lindell.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Lindell, and as you all know, on January 9th, I received evidence of a cyber attack orchestrated by China on our 2020 election. I took that one piece of evidence and I just went all in. This was something different nobody had seen. This was something that came through the machines, the Dominion machines, the Smartmatic and other machines. This was a cyber attack. I didn't know anything about cyber attacks, and boy, I had to learn real fast. And I hired experts to validate this. These guys are white hat hackers that work for the government. But what I'm going to show you tonight is you're going to all know now why I have been 100% sure that when this gets before the Supreme Court, it's going to be 9-0. 9-0 to pull this election down, and that this was 100% an attack by China on our country through these machines. And with us right now is one of my cybersecurity experts. These guys are the best. This guy has over 20 years of experience working in both the private sector and with government law enforcement and intelligence agencies. He has many information and cybersecurity certifications that specialize in advanced adversary detection, mitigation, and elimination. And here he is now. Hello.
Alert.
Hello, Mike.
Alert.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for all the work you've done for our country.
Now, as you listen to this, and some of you might be rolling your eyes, especially you Biden voters out there, you're probably still giggling, especially about the border.
Alert.
But ask yourself, what if the news media did their job? Then the guy that makes the pillows wouldn't have to. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life. You know, the guy that runs the pillow company is investigating the hacked election by China because the Biden administration and the news media will not allow an investigation of a hacked election by China. It's bizarre. But I'll ask you this. Who do you think's more credible? Dr. Tony Fauci over the last 15 months or Mike Lindell?
And thanks for all the work you've done for
What's on your mind?
And I know I put yourself and many others through a couple months worth of work now just to get everything validated for our country, to show that this evidence is real. So what I'm going to go through, everybody,